So I'm just heading back from the mountain bike trails, and I thought I'd share my thoughts on a few items from the news that have come up recently. First one is the new SRAM SX it is. So it's even cheaper or even lower end than the NX, which was already pretty low end. So I think it uses some of the components from the NX drivetrain, like the cassette and the chain, but the derailleur and the shifter and the cranks are all cheaper, more mass market. So yeah, I mean, SRAM winning the war with Shimano, that's for sure. I think 1x12 is just going to be on pretty much every mountain bike in the future. 1x11 is definitely out. Shimano are being absolutely slaughtered at the moment. I don't know they've just taken so long to get their 1x12 system out, and it's still at the higher end. Meanwhile, SRAM's up to their 4th trickle down version of 1x12. They've got that Axis as well, the wireless system and everything like that. Shimano are just getting killed at the moment. Don't know what's going to happen there. The other piece of news is everyone going on about Mullet Bikes at the moment. That's basically, I believe they were racing with 29 up the front and 27.5 at the back. Yeah, I mean, there was an article recently saying that did testing on it, and basically at the end of the day they did all these tests and they couldn't tell, it was inconclusive, they couldn't tell the difference between, in terms of speed, whether it was better or not. So I think that's just people playing around. They might keep trying to do it on the racing bikes, but I don't think anyone's going to really adopt it on the consumer level, the normal bikes. It looks a bit funny as well. I mean, apparently a lot of older bikes, they'd tried it in the past with, say, a 27 up the front or 27.5 up the front and a 26 at the back, stuff like that. But I don't see them going to the trouble of making frames specifically for that, although no doubt they will do that. So there'll be like Mullet compatible frames or something like that in the future. I wouldn't be surprised. Third piece of news, was more an opinion article that I saw that was getting a lot of attention, was the idea of not needing lockouts, especially on your handlebars, remote lockouts. The worst being double remote lockouts on your handlebars. I never saw the point of that, because you really want to control your lockout more for your rear shock than your front anyway. So to have them both controlled from one lever seems a bit stupid. But yeah, this guy was saying that, you know, if frames were, in his opinion, and I'm not a mechanical engineer, but frames could be designed to have no lockout required, because shocks are so much better than they used to be. So he was saying that lockouts were brought in because frames and shock technology wasn't up to scratch, so they needed a way to mitigate the bounciness of it when climbing and things like that. And the idea would be that you could now design a frame with a modern shock, so you shouldn't need a lockout at all. So, I mean, I hope it's not one of those things where the higher end bikes have, you know, they have pedal assist and all this stuff. Well, not pedal assist, what's it called? Climb mode. So they've got lockout, climb mode, and open. And I hope they don't just do that just to have more options on a bike, whereas really you just want a simple frame that's well designed, that has a shock always open, for example. I mean, that would be the best of all worlds. You're not fiddling with your bike. You don't have to have these remote levers, which I think are not that useful anyway. I mean, I wouldn't get a remote lever because I'm perfectly happy to reach down onto my frame and flick a switch if I needed to. And I rarely do. Every now and again I do it for climbing. But yeah, I agree with this guy. I mean, I think you should probably be able to have a frame without using any lockout ever. And I think they should try and do that. I don't know if they're going to ever release shocks without a lockout though, because people just love to have more switches and things. So, but yeah, I agree. Use less lockouts. It's not needed anymore. So yeah, that's my thoughts for this drive today. If you enjoyed, leave a like or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.